Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SnodaCast Episode 11. I am your host, BlackJet56, and I am, of course, joined by Teddy.
Hello.
Gallows. Allie, aka Hungry Hufflepuff, and, of course, the one, the only, the why do we even have him here anymore, Joe.
Hello, good night, but most importantly, hello.
Hello. And of course, this can't be any SnodaCast without talking about first, of course, weekly updates. So I'm gonna ask the age-old question: How's everybody's week? All right, we're going to go ahead and go clockwise. We're going to go Teddy, then we're going to go Gallows, then we're going to... Basically, the way I introduced you guys is the way we're going to go. So, Teddy, how was your week?
Honestly, not bad.
Hey!
Girlfriend's out in Texas, going to the fucking biking festival. I am excited. Can't wait to see pictures about that. Can't wait to see what she got me. Other than that, I'm waiting for the cold to cut here so I don't have to sweat anymore.
Fair enough. All right, Gallows, how was your week?
It's been busy, mostly work, mostly.
Fair enough. Allie?
I'm in the same boat as Gallows. I've had buku overtime this week.
That is fair. Joe?
Well, you saw me say that, well, I passed out for the topic operation last night.
Yeah.
Kinda nuts.
And also, you told me something along the lines of your phone wasn't charged. So, I know the pain on that one, man.
I'm
I
just
really
glad
do.
this week is over.
Absolutely, 100%.
I get paid in 2 more days. 2 more days I get paid. And then I can go back to being broke for the week. What shit I have to do?
Those bills, man.
All
It's not
right.
even that either, bro. It's the fact that I gotta give my nephew a Christmas gift for Christmas.
Tell me about it.
I gotta get me some new pairs of shoes, so that's gonna cost me about probably $100 right there, depending on where I go to.
Right. I know that pain.
I gotta do a lot of other stuff with some cash, so yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, if you guys are ready, my week. Well, sorry, I went a little ahead of myself. My week's pretty much been the same as Gal's and Allie. I've just kind of been, dealing with work. I got finals finished, so that was nice. I managed to pass all my classes, so that's always good. And yeah, I'm super excited to see where next semester goes. But mostly, I'm excited to talk about our now showing. If you guys are more than ready.
Love that segue.
Oh yeah. All right, for now showing this week, we have, of course, my lovely little intro thing here. We have Spider-Man No Way Home, the latest in the MCU films, as well as the third Tom Holland film. And of course, Netflix's The Witcher Season 2, which I have not started yet because my mother is taking hostage on the TV. But that being said, let's go ahead and start with No Way Home, which I actually have seen. And no spoilers here. Don't worry, anybody who is watching. No spoilers. I'm not an asshole. Now, I don't think anybody else in here has seen it, as far as I know. So yeah, no spoilers here. I will just say this is definitely, hands down, my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man film. And honestly, maybe my favorite live-action Spider-Man film. I would still say Into the Spider-Verse has to be my favorite Spider-Man film, but out of the live-action ones, I would have to say this might surpass Spider-Man 2. I don't know. I'd have to watch it again to get that kind of feeling. So yeah, right now it's like a tie between that and Spider-Man 2. But anyways, what are y'all guys' thoughts? If you have any or excitement, ideas that you have for where this movie can go.
I honestly can't say anything until I actually watch it.
Fair enough.
Like we are at the point where I cannot make any estimations, make any judgments, make any requests until I actually see the body of work itself.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna go see it this next weekend when I'm off, probably.
Fair
We'll
enough.
see what happens.
I'll be down there, so.
Joe, unless you're planning on paying for it, I can't take you.
Right. Well,
Sorry.
I mean, if I pay for you, though.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Ooh,
That's what I'm saying.
how the turns of table.
I can't pay for my own ticket, let alone yours. Not that I don't mind seeing this again. I don't. I actually do kind of want to see this again, but you know how certain particular details of what's going on with that situation. Anyways, that being said, Teddy, you're awfully quiet on this. Are you excited for No Way Home? You have any plans on seeing it?
do plan on seeing it. Am I excited? Yes, for what I probably think I might see, but that's if I'm correct on my assumption of probably what everyone else is thinking too. But obviously, there has been a lot of Spider-Man movies, so I'm kind of bored of that art. But this one does have me.
I will say, yeah, there have been quite a few Spider-Man movies. However, with each iteration that comes out, it is a different take on the Spider-Man lore, which is a sight better than the amount of Batman movies there are.
There's been way more Spider-Man movies now than Batman movies.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
They're about to be.
I'm not comparing numbers.
Oh.
I'm comparing the takes on the lore.
Fair.
Say the same thing about Superman, but
There hasn't been that many takes on Superman, believe it or not.
There really
I
hasn't.
meant, like he keeps getting rewritten a lot in the comic.
Because, okay, as much as I
to be
enjoy
fair.
Superman Returns, that is still technically the original Superman. That's not a new iteration or whatever. That is supposed to be the original Superman.
To be
We also got
fair,
a show too, or no?
Background music is too loud.
to be fair, when it comes to Superman, and they wrote him without any kind of flaws because that's what was needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do something like that, the amount of takes that can be taken diminishes.
Fair enough.
Stories are created from
Biggest
flaws.
flaws of fucking rock.
That had to be written in, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they had to write in flaws for him after the fact.
Right. Fair enough.
But no, I've been a fan of Spider-Man for as long as I've been reading comics, which is God. I've lost count of the years.
Fair enough.
Like, he was my original favorite hero. And to this day still is my favorite hero.
Okay. That is fair.
He was the first
So
superhero
Miranda is watching.
in a movie.
Miranda is watching. Oh, the Texas border. Girl, if you are coming to Texas border, you better be visiting my ass.
Now, as far as The
It's
Witcher
like a
2,
reference to the wall.
Yeah, okay. No. She's coming to Texas. She's almost there. She's driving here, apparently. Now, in regards to Witcher Season 2, I only have slight concern.
I ain't watched it yet.
I haven't touched it either. Like I said, my mother is taking the TV hostage, and it's out. Yeah, it came out this weekend.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I can close watching it today.
So I will say
haven't
this.
watched the first one.
I hope the story is a little bit more streamlined, like it's more of a continuous narrative, not, oh, we're going to follow this person. It takes place in a completely different timeline, and then we're going to follow this person. It takes place in another completely different timeline, and then we're going to follow this person, and it takes place in its own separate timeline, and then they're all going to merge. And I'm like, I don't like that. It's a little too much time commitment for me, especially with how I watch shows. Don't get me wrong, I binge. I was able to follow Game of Thrones okay, but this was like way more complicated than Game of Thrones, just by like
especially
time.
since unless you're paying close attention, you can't tell which timeline goes where.
Yeah, until someone says some dialogue like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in X amount of years." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like,
Whew.
I get that you want us to be intrigued by this.
Yeah.
However, the average viewer is going to just follow what's on the screen at that point in time. They're not going to register, okay, this links up with this event this way. You have to sometimes point out, this is when this takes place.
Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the animated Witcher movie on Netflix, I would highly recommend that. It's technically a prequel to the whole... Yeah, it's a prequel to the whole series.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's like, it shows the fall of the Witchers. Like, you know how they reference, like, there's not that many Witchers left? This shows the fall of them. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. What's up?
You said it's on Netflix?
Yeah, because it's Netflix original. It's an animated Netflix original, but it shows the fall of the Witchers in the show. So that was kind of cool. It's like an hour and a half. It's not bad. It's a pretty easy time commitment. I enjoyed it. I thought it was relatively fine. The animation style
I still
fit
need to watch
pretty well. I was nervous about watching because I'm like, oh, it's just a lazy attempt to like hold over till season 2 comes out, and then I watched it. I'm like, no, there's some genuine stuff that's pretty good in there. There's actually some character death, and I'm like, oh shit, they killed that person off. Okay, cool. I just got to know you, you know?
It's like, oh, I hope you didn't already fall in love with this character.
I will say this. There is one character he's made to be overtly gay. Nothing wrong with that, but it's like almost to a cliche some ways. I mean, he is a Witcher, but I'm like, okay, so we're going that route. And I was like, especially because they're taken as kids, so it's like, I don't know how to feel about that. But other than that, I mean, you know, it's a good short. Like, I would recommend supporting it if you already like Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher. You're probably gonna like that because while it doesn't necessarily have Geralt in it, I mean, it does and it doesn't. It's like, it's complicated. It is pretty good. I would recommend it. With that being said, yeah, go ahead.
The thing about Geralt, yes, Geralt is The Witcher, but if you're showing a prequel to the Witcher series, you have to show what it was before Geralt.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing that, Geralt's not going to be a huge thing.
Well, and I know Geralt's not necessarily young, but like, you know.
I'll probably binge watch season 1 and 2.
Particularly in the Asian part of it.
No, but
So I'll probably do.
when done right, a movie is a good way to bridge the gap between seasons of a show.
Yeah, and especially because it's an animated movie, and they do have to throw... It's kind of similar to the animation style of Castlevania. So it's got that kind of animation style to it, like that fluidity and everything with how they fight, and it was entertaining, I will say that.
Well, and add to that, animation, especially with a series like The Witcher,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the magic and supernatural things that happen in there, animation is a good medium to portray because you can do a lot more with animation when it's done right.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, some of the CGI in, especially with the dragon, in season 1 of The Witcher was... but the characters helped it.
In there.
Was shoddy.
Yeah, the characters helped it, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, when they showed that dragon, I'm like, oh,
I think they could have
ran out of money there.
Better CGI.
Oh yeah, I was like, ran out of money, huh?
Well, that's kind of the thing with CGI. It only goes so far. It really, the limit is placed on how much money is in your budget.
How much money and how much time. I will agree on that.
Yeah.
Now, for a small scale budget, because I know that Netflix was testing the waters with this show. Fair. It was okay. It was pretty decent. It was like a made for TV in the 90s kind of thing. So like, I'm like, it's fine. But, you know, like, I hope the effects are a lot better in this next season, because I know that Netflix gave it a lot more money. And, like I said...
And the Nilfgaardians aren't kind of whack looking.
Yeah, I will say this. I am super interested to see where they go with, what's her name? The little girl. Because hers
Siri?
was on... Yeah, Siri. Hers was honestly the weakest part of the first season, in my opinion. Not that it was a bad part. I mean, I was interested in it, but I'm like... But...
She grows up a little.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to
seen
grow
one
up this
trailer.
next season. Yeah.
Well, with a series like The Witcher and saying that Ciri is the weakest part of it, that's still not a bad thing.
No, it's just kind of like the
What
main
series
story
again?
for me was Geralt and Yennefer. And honestly, like, the best analogy I can come up with is Jeremy Jahns, which, by the way, for those of you that are watching either live or postpartum, or not postpartum, or post-live, if you guys are watching, highly, highly, highly recommend checking out this guy. If you're into movie reviews, he does it really quick. If you just want, like, a quick synopsis, subscribe to Jeremy Jahns. Not sponsored by him, I just love him. I would love to see him get more love than he already has. Chris Stuckman's another good one if you had the time for him. But Jeremy Jahns is quick. So... the best way he described Witcher Season 1 is, it's kind of like you're in a club. You know, you have the main thing where it's, you know, you see Geralt and Rivia, and it's like, you know, it's like the big beat. Everybody's like, yeah! And then okay, when you're winded, you step outside, and then that's where Cersei is, or Ciri is. And it's like, so you could still hear the beat, but it's like, and you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. It's kind of like, it's like, okay, so this is still kind of cool, but, you know, I'd really like to get back in there, but I'm going to take my breath and, you know, I'm going to take my time on this. And so he's like, that's the best way he can describe all three of those storylines. You have Geralt and Yennefer in the main club, and then outside you have, you know, Ciri.
I mean, that's actually a really good way of describing
My thought process, exactly.
I wonder if they'll ever explain the thing about the unicorn from Witcher 3.
They haven't even gotten to Witcher 3 yet, my guy.
Well, I meant, like, there was a scene in that game with a unicorn.
Well, okay, so for them to actually have a chance to explain it, A, they'd have to get that far, which I don't know if they, like, we don't even know if they have plans to go that far, and B, they actually have to plan to talk about it.
That's true. I would say, from what I've been told, they're not really adapting the games as much as they are adapting the books.
Which is a good thing. A lot of people...
I never knew that.
So The Witcher actually started out as a book series.
A lot of people don't know that, yeah.
No,
I thought it was a game.
when the first game was being made, they went to the author to get permission, and he honestly didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And so he just said, "Okay, I will take this lump sum of money right now."
Which was kind of a bad decision, at least.
Oh yeah, and he was not happy about it because it took off, and he's just like, "These people are profiting off of something that I created."
I could have gotten more rich up. If I actually took more money.
But yeah, there's an entire book series for The Witcher that sometimes you might do hunting for it, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
I'd be shocked if you can't find at least a lot of them, like a good chunk of them on Amazon. So
find my copy.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, quick side note before we get into our main topics. Epic Rap Battles of History has actually released a new video lately, as of today.
It's
John
about
Wick versus Rambo versus
Well,
McClane.
They did another one a few weeks ago, too. And that one was not actually half bad. It was Mansa Musa versus Jeff Bezos.
Yep, that one was funny.
That one was really funny.
You got the richest...
Two of the
Black
richest
man
people in
history.
history. Yeah, two of the richest people in history.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
But
any strategy gamers out there, you can actually play as Mansa Musa in Civilization.
yeah, that's the whole reason why. I think Civilization sponsored that video, if I'm not mistaken. Or somebody did. I forget who it did. I forget which company sponsored it. But I will say this. This latest one is, like Joe said, John McClane versus John Wick versus John Rambo.
It doesn't have Keanu Reeves in it, sadly, but...
The guy that got to play Keanu Reeves did a pretty decent impression. I will say this. It is the same guy who's done... He did Voltaire. He did Sherlock Holmes. He did... No.
Wasn't it Peter?
No, Nice Peter played John. He played John Rambo.
It's the same guy who broke in at the end of the Epic Lloyd versus Nice Peter one.
Is it? No, not the first
Like
one.
Gas of G?
It's not Gas and G. It's I forget his name, but he's been a part of it for a while. He also played Egon in the Ghostbusters versus Mythbusters.
Like he has been a part of a lot.
He's been a part of it really since the beginning. Like maybe their second season, I want to say. Epic Rap Battles of History.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a minute.
Dude, they just posted a new video today.
Plus, favorite one of mine.
Yeah,
is, like,
John Wick versus John Rambo versus John McClane.
Favorite one of all is
I
like
saw the video. I
Einstein
saw
versus...
said it came out, but I haven't watched it. So
It's pretty good,
I've not
honestly.
watched it.
I've watched it a couple times. It's still not my favorite. I have to say my favorite out of their newest ones is Richard the Lionheart versus Ragnar Lothbrok.
oh wow.
I just piqued Teddy's interest. I could tell. Yes, they have a video where it's
What?
Ragnar
Like
Lothbrok.
Saw that one.
Yeah,
Epic Lloyd was
pretty
Ragnar.
good. He was pretty good as Ragnar. I will say this, Teddy. Yes, I am still watching Vikings. It's really good. I'm liking it so far. Yeah.
Hey, it's a good.
But anyways, we've actually, if you guys have any more thoughts, comments, concerns on either Spider-Man No Way Home or Witcher Season 2, now is the time.
No?
No?
Hey, I got a new way to left sleep.
All right. So, on to our
I
next...
mean, as long as it's coming out your ass.
All right, on to our first topic for the night. It's official. We are getting a new Splinter Cell game, and if Archangel was here, he would love to talk about it. However, he is not here. He is currently dealing with personal things, and our next best person here that we could talk about Splinter Cell is Joe. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
it is Joe, though.
I'm so disappointed. Wow.
You can give me shit about this later. I only played Conviction.
I'm going to assume that I'm supposed to give you shit for that.
I didn't play Chaos Fury or any of the other ones before.
Okay, but you're still someone that's played Splinter Cell games. I have not.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait, let me ask
Basically-
Gallows. Gallows,
No.
you played Splinter Cell? Okay. Alright, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, okay. Basically, you always play as Sam Fisher, like part of Third Echelon, which is
Mhm.
fictional. And I just know you're kind of doing governmental work for the Lighthouse, essentially, and you're pretty much like, I would say with Blacklist, at least gave you the thing where you either sneak past folks, kill them, or knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the new one's honestly about.
I don't think we know anything. I just know that they said that, hey, if you want to work for Ubisoft, or is it Ubisoft? I forget how to pronounce it. You can apply to help us out with Splinter Cell. And I was like, ooh, how fun.
I'll be
But
honest about this. Exciting, curious, but excitingly cautious.
yes, exactly. I agree. But
Which is good. I didn't start off with, hey, a new Splinter Cell game. How much you want to bet there'll be NFTs in it when it comes out?
I will say this. I don't think they are... I know Michael Ironside plays Sam Fisher. I don't think they're bringing him back.
They had somebody else play Sam in Blacklist to kind of play a semi-younger but kind of old voice.
Okay, so I would say, honestly, as much as I know everybody is a big fan of Michael Ironside as Sam Fisher, you gotta remember, guys, this guy's, like, pushing 70. Like, this guy's not young anymore.
He's like 60 or 50.
Eventually, the guy has got to
he's
move
a
on
lot
and do
younger.
other things.
He's a lot older than that, Joe. I know he is.
Well,
Michael
He's
Ironside?
been around for a while.
Yeah, dude, Michael Ironside was, like, in his 40s in the 90s, man, and that's been 20 years, so...
I know he voiced other characters in games, but...
Well, I know he's a notorious voice actor, but yeah, like, this guy's 71 years old. Give the man a fucking break.
No old...
Like, I get it.
So
The
young
man is
compared
The
to
characters
the
right
man
after a
is
certain age. They tried doing it with Gears of War, and I don't think it looked good in Gears.
No, it
I-
doesn't. Yeah.
Still.
It's one of those things of, I get it. The man is a fucking superstar
Oh
when it
yeah.
comes to voice acting and acting in general.
Oh yeah.
However,
Give the
At
man a
some
fucking
point-
break.
yeah, if
Give him a swan song.
I think he technically has already had a swan song. I don't even think he wants to come back. Is the thing. Like, I genuinely don't know if he even wants to come back. That's my problem with it.
hell, he's probably made enough bank, he can retire.
No.
I mean, stupid idea, but Sylvester Stallone to be the new Sam Fisher.
He's about the same age, dude.
He's got a more deeper and awesome sounding voice now.
I don't think
Seriously,
they can pull it off with an older dude. I think they would have to get somebody younger.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing about the entertainment industry. Yeah, you can keep having old people show up, but eventually you need to cycle them out for younger actors.
What Jackie Chan quit acting for it too. Like he's
Yeah.
retired. He
I
does
forget.
filming now.
I didn't even know
He doesn't really act in too many movies due to the fact that he's older now, so it's a lot harder for him to do the stunts he did back in his day.
Well, and
Remember,
also
he did
there's
all these
other
stunts.
reasons behind that too. Political reasons that we're not going to get into. But
Thank you.
I know what you're talking about, unfortunately, but
I do too.
keep my ass shut.
Yep.
Can't say that.
Keep the
though.
mouth shut
Yeah.
too. The ass is
I
fine,
always-
just don't shit yourself.
I'm just saying. I was trying to.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, anyway,
Moving on.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. My closing remarks are. Okay, like, it's about damn time we finally got a new fucking Splinter Cell game instead of having Sam Fisher appear in shitty ass mobile games and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Am I 10 out of 10 hyped for it? No.
Right.
Considering what Ubisoft's been up to recently, and you know, I said NFT, I'm kind of just gonna keep it all in my pants.
Well, we would hope so. That would be very disturbing
you.
for our viewers.
Okay, shut the fuck up. I'm just saying, keep your expectations very low, and
All
you
right.
know.
Now I know this next topic is one for Gallows that he's going to be very, very excited to talk about. And if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and go into our next topic. You'll find out. I'll do my little announcement. You guys ready to go to the next topic?
Yeah.
All right.
Today's sponsor?
No, we don't have a sponsor, Joe. Shut up. Anyways, that being said, our next topic is Bleach is set to return, and apparently we're even getting a new animation style. I'm going to go ahead and give the reins over to Gallows to talk about this because he knows far more about Bleach than I do. Go ahead, my good sir.
Basically, it's the usual shit. One character gets power from somebody else, or gets power for something else, and he becomes OP like a motherfucker for some odd reason.
Okay.
Basically.
Alright.
Instead of like being like you get sent to a different world type shit, he's in the same world, but he's half soul eater and half human, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right, his father's a soul eater too.
Okay.
Well, you don't find that out till way later.
Yeah. But they ended the show right after after he lost his powers or regained his powers.
Mm-hmm.
Or lost his powers because his last form makes him lose his powers for good. But they're like, oh no, you can regain your powers. And they did, but he had to go through a whole big old another arc where he has to face a dude, another villain, just to be able to get his powers back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in this new one, they're gonna bring back the main Aizen, the main antagonist of the whole series, back and make him super OP because that's what he is in the mangas.
Did I say
He is
Soul
super
Eater?
OP. Did you say Soul Eater?
Did I say
you've been-
Soul
Oh, Weeper
No,
is
Gallus, you have been saying Soul Eater.
Oh, I have.
Yes.
Eater? We're talking about Bleach.
I was gonna let you get through your explanation before I said anything.
My bad.
I didn't want to interrupt.
Bye.
You're good, buddy.
I did not want to interrupt, but
But anyways, basically he's a Soul Reaper, and more likely they're gonna bring back the original antagonist Aizen.
Mhm.
The dude's super OP.
Right.
Like, after he gained his power from the second to final season, he became OP because he got locked up in a jail inside Soul Eater prison, and he stayed there by himself basically. He didn't want to leave or anything.
No internet, Wi-Fi, or any interaction with the Zanpakuto.
Yeah. So basically, they're gonna bring him back and end the series with him.
I think they might be going into the 1,000-year Blood War arc.
I think that's what
It
the
might
article that you sent in said, is that they're heavily hinting at that they might be going at the 1,000-year Blood War.
It would be cool if they did. It would be cool if they did Fairy Tail 100-year arc, because you know what I'm talking about, Fairy Tail.
I know of the anime. I don't necessarily. I never fully finished it. It got way too episodic for a while for me, and I'm like, I just don't like this anymore. I was interested, and then I was like, I don't care.
Have you ever watched Blue Exorcist?
Nope. Joe, you
Off
gotta remember,
topic.
there's like way too
Horribly
many
off
animes I haven't
topic.
thought. Anyways, back to Bleach.
Oh, yeah,
You said
yeah,
something
keep
about
that.
there might be with the trailer. They're saying they might be doing a new animation style.
Oh yeah, so the new animation style is more boldness with color and stuff like that, and more CGI type. I don't know. What do you call how would you say it? It basically is out bolder. Basically, the art's more bolder out there. Looks better than what it was in the original anime was.
Damn, we were actually averaging about 4 viewers. Now we're down to 0.
Damn,
Sucks.
we had 4
Tough
viewers,
crowd.
and now we have 0.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Even though I've been
I'm
going in on it, I should at least say 1.
I think if
I'm
we
going
all
to-
get on Minecraft and stream it, we could probably get more views.
Maybe, I don't know.
I will admit I am hopefully cautious
Okay.
about this. Bleach is one of those animes that's been on for a while.
Yep.
It is one of those old ones. One of the ones that people have referred to as the big 3.
Yeah.
Like Naruto.
Amid arguments over what actually constitutes the big 3, but that's beside the point.
There was so many people. There's so many pick up a big 3 because the big 3 encounter Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, sometimes either Naruto or One Piece, depending on those
JoJo's
last
one
2.
of those now?
My thing is, with a lot of shows, oftentimes they will run until they become duds.
Either that or the manga. They need to catch up to the manga.
Yeah,
And-
a lot of the difference between cartoons and anime is they follow the manga. Sometimes, not all the time. So don't count me on that. Sometimes follow the manga all the way through. It depends on what you watch, because there's so many animes that ended off with a cliffhanger because the people who are making the anime stopped making it, or somebody died, or something. Because it's like High School of the Dead. They were supposed to give it a season 2.
And they never
But
did.
They didn't because the author of the manga passed away.
That's a
But yeah.
But as I was saying, I don't want Bleach to become one of those shows that just dries up.
Fair
In
enough.
the desert, that is anime.
I don't.
And so, with them coming out with a new season, that reopens the potential for that to happen.
That is true.
That is very true.
So, like I said, I am hopefully cautious here.
Why does this motherfucker have a
Same thing.
gladiator helmet, bro? Why? Anyway, sorry.
But
But
yeah.
One Piece, for example, that thing is still going, and they've got over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, you got
Hey,
into the final
but it's good.
I'm not saying
good.
it's not.
It's not
I
dried
am
up,
not
though.
saying. I'm not saying it's
I've
not.
been stuck on Zoo.
However-
for, like, longest time.
However, it has right now, in my mind, it has the most potential to go dry.
It's supposed to finish up this year. It's supposed to finish up this year.
I thought they already
Well,
finished it up, though. I thought they already finished
No,
One
they're
Piece.
going
What
to
does
finish
they
it up.
want
They're
it
gonna
to
finish it up.
finish with it be finished within a year?
They'll finish it up when Luffy finds the One Piece. That's when they'll finish that whole.
Fair enough.
Anyway, but when the new season of Bleach comes out, I'll watch it.
That is
I'll
fair.
watch it. That's about all I can do at this point.
Yeah.
That's all of us. That's all we all can do is just watch it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
I just know interesting things happen with some of those characters within that arc.
I imagine this is what it felt like when the first commercial airline took off. Everybody else just standing there watching to see whether it would actually work or not.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's a fair assessment, yeah. But
You're
speaking,
supposed to get new uniforms.
if we are ready to go to our next topic.
All right, let's go.
All right. So, speaking of being cautiously optimistic, we got our first trailer for Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. And this is one that's gonna be controversial. So, we now have a new actor to portray Gellert Grindelwald, Mads Mikkelsen, instead of Johnny Depp. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen instead of Johnny Depp. And the reason why they don't have Johnny Depp anymore is because Warner Brothers decided to take Amber Heard's side over Johnny Depp's for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. Probably feminism.
They're not exactly nice people, but
No. Well, okay, but Johnny's a little nicer. And also, Johnny wouldn't lie on freaking court to say that, oh yeah, all the money I'm going to win is going to go to charity and then never give it to charity.
still,
And yet, Amber Heard is still fucking Mira, but yet Johnny Depp is losing everything.
I'm just hoping he can at least get some kind of role or something where he can just go back to his roots of what actually.
I will say
got
this.
him.
I would like it if
Howdy.
Disney started backing him a little bit more, saying, hey, we did fuck up. We're sorry. However,
They're not gonna do it.
that being said, no, they're not going to do it. I would be shocked if they did. But, like, there are still plenty of people, like, that still believe Amber Heard did nothing wrong, which is bullshit.
Of course, bro.
Yeah,
Because
like
it's a victim mentality
even
they
her
have.
parents have said, yeah, no, she's kind of a vindictive bitch. Like, that takes a lot for parents to come out and say that shit. Like, that's saying a lot. There's absolutely no proof that she isn't a bad person, but there's also no proof that she is either. Like, I mean, there's plenty of, like, speculation and there's a lot of evidence, but there's no proof. There's no solid, clear, concise proof unless we get videos and shit. So, like, you know, that's kind of the whole thing. And, like, as much as I believe Johnny in this whole situation, I'm sad that he got fired. I hope to God Amber Heard is not Mira for much longer after this movie. Because, honestly, here's the thing. Even in Aquaman, she's not that great. She's phoning it in Aquaman.
It's like she doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah. And then also, okay, weird thing. She's doing a British accent in the Snyder Cut, which makes no sense.
Why?
I don't know. She is. It's weird, right?
I don't like British accents, bro. They're terrible.
Well,
You
okay,
make
especially an
your own
American
British
doing a
accent.
British accent. She is an American.
Yeah.
Like, no. Now, a Brit
give
doing an American accent
I get
can be pretty
that.
okay.
I get it. A lot of people come from like England and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people who live here now came from England or Denmark or whatever from the east. But I mean, most of the people lost their accent after
true.
living here for so long.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of
They
my
have
whole
the
thing.
guns
Is
to
it's like
keep
I.
Arnold, though.
But on to Fantastic Beasts. I'm kind of done with Fantastic Beasts. At this point, it just feels like blatant cash grabs just to get Harry Potter fans and butts in seats. And as much of a Harry Potter fan as I am, I kind of don't care anymore. It's become... They're still calling it Fantastic Beast. Yet... Really, it's not about finding Beast anymore. It's about, it's basically another Voldemort situation. It's another Voldemort situation. Except this time, instead of, like, Harry and Voldemort, it's going to be Dumbledore and Grindelwald. And I'm like, but why? Not that I don't like Dumbledore. I actually enjoyed Jude Law as Dumbledore. It's just, you know,
Cool.
Yeah, Jude Law is playing young Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Which, okay, to be fair, Richard Harris should have been playing young Dumbledore.
Why?
Because he's the original Dumbledore's son. Like, the
Oh,
original
really?
actor. Yeah. Okay, so the guy who
shit.
played Moriarty in the second Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie,
Yeah.
that guy is the original Dumbledore, like from the first two movies, the original Dumbledore's son.
Oh shit.
And he tried out for young Dumbledore and did not get it because Jude Law looks better, I guess. I don't know. And I can agree. But, like, it would have been so... And the guy even looks like his dad. That's the thing. Like, and I don't think his name... I don't think his name is Richard Harris. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Give me 1 second on that. But anyways, you know, like, it's just... It's kind of... You know... Here, hold on. Give me 1 second. I will be exact with you. No, Richard Harris is the father. His son is Jared Harris. And here, allow me to show you who Jared Harris is. This guy.
Oh. Oh. Alright.
Yeah, that's Richard Harris's son, and he tried out for young Dumbledore.
I could see the resemblance.
Mm-hmm. So, like, to be perfectly honest, I think he would have been a great Dumbledore. Not that Jude Law isn't. I think Jude Law's an okay Dumbledore. He's pretty he's halfway decent in my opinion. I mean, it's Jude fucking Law. Why wouldn't I say, like, he's a good Dumbledore? He is. But, you know, that being said, it's like, you know, kind of don't.
The thing is, I don't think this is because you're the original, the older Dumbledore's son. You should be able to play the younger one.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. Maybe Jude Law outshined him, but like this guy's a really good actor. Have you guys not seen Chernobyl, like the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
My dad saw it.
phenomenal in that show. Like, if you haven't seen Chernobyl, granted, if you have a weak stomach, I would avoid episode 3. But you know, like if you haven't seen Chernobyl, like this shit's a really good show. It's fantastic. I believe it's on HBO Max. So Joe and Teddy, you have no fucking excuse.
I should probably watch it with my dad while I'm down there.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
watched
it's
it. I think he liked
yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. I just do give that. I do give that
He
fair
said
warning.
it kind of gave a human face to the whole.
Oh yeah, to the whole thing. Now, granted, is it weird that there's a bunch of British actors portraying Russians speaking English? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's a bunch of British actors portraying Russians speaking English. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of weird. Not gonna lie. And they still say like, comrades and shit, and like they don't really try to speak in Russian accents at all. So it is a
Really
little
say
weird.
words.
They use some Russian words, yeah, but like it's a little weird. But you know, it you get over it very quickly.
I can just imagine them trying to talk and all be all Russian and all that. Next thing you know, someone says, "You want some chip and tea?"
No. It's not like stereotypical English accents. It's like very sophisticated and like they don't go, "Oh, high society." They don't talk like that, but it's like very calm, sophisticated talking. Now, the only person that wasn't British was Stellan Skarsgård? Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård, he plays the guy, but like he kind of has like this gruff voice. Okay, so Teddy, to give you context, the Dune movie that you're watching, the big fat guy, that's Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh.
Mhm. Also, I'm gonna blow your mind even more. You know Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise?
Yes.
That's his
Felt
dad.
like an MCU.
What the fuck? You serious?
I am being 100% serious. Stellan Skarsgård is Bill Skarsgård's dad. And you remember the guy who played Tarzan in that Tarzan movie with Sam Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson.
That's
was
his
in
brother.
Tarzan movie?
Oh damn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Alex
see-
Skarsgård, I think is his name. Alex Skarsgård, yeah. Yeah, no, it was called The Legend of Tarzan or some shit. Yeah.
Live action
it was-
version.
It
of
was a
Tarzan?
live action, yeah. It was a live action version. So the guy who played Tarzan in that's
I
Alex
thought that was,
Skarsgård.
I think that was the guy who played Mummy, right? In the Mummy series. We're talking about the
No.
same dude. No. Oh,
No, that's a
we're not
completely
talking-
different guy. Now I'm talking about Tarzan, The Legend of Tarzan, the one with Samuel L. Jackson in it.
I can't.
Oh, was
see
that guy in
Samuel
there?
Jackson being Tarzan.
Yeah.
I never saw that
The
movie,
guy who
so I
plays-
didn't know.
The guy who played in the Mummy series is the dude who plays Tarzan. In the
No,
Tarzan
you're thinking
movie.
George of the Jungle.
Oh, there we go. George.
That's Fraser.
Mm.
George.
Brendan Fraser.
That's Brendan Fraser, yeah.
He got. If
Oh,
you had to be
wrong
Tarzan,
dude.
George again.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
talking
Alex
about.
Skarsgård, yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
That's
I
Bill
remember now.
Skarsgård's brother.
Oh damn.
Yeah. They're all related,
What?
which is freaking phenomenal. But yeah, that being said, back onto the subject of Harry Potter or Fantastic Beasts and the Secret of Dumbledore. I'm giving this movie a chance. If it ends up getting terrible Rotten Tomato scores, I will probably eventually watch it on HBO Max or some shit. I don't know.
I don't have the excuse of not watching it.
I'll give it a shot. I will eventually see it. But if it's getting like terrible reviews, I'm not gonna watch it in theaters. I'm not gonna pay $10 to
I
go
think
see it.
they're
in
gonna give it
theaters.
terrible reviews due to the fact that Johnny
Don't
Depp's
worry.
not.
No,
Don't worry, I'll
no.
watch it
Most
here,
of
so
the
you guys
critical
don't have to.
reviews are gonna give it fantastic reviews. Well, okay, granted. Here's the thing. Do I think that Mads Mikkelsen can outshine Johnny Depp? Yes, 100%. As much as I love Johnny Depp, Mads Mikkelsen is a far superior actor. However, am I pissed off at the fact that they recasted him? Yeah, but this is not the first time
I mean, a lot of people were.
Honestly, here's the thing. I think the perfect person you could have brought back you could have brought back Colin Farrell.
Farrell.
He played Graves in the first Fantastic Beasts movie. The guy who turned out to be Grindelwald.
Oh, yeah.
You could have brought him back.
Yeah.
He was good. He was so good. You could have brought him back instead of recasting him. Don't get me wrong. I love Mads Mikkelsen. Good choice to play a villain. Just, I'm just kind of on the whole thing. Like, I don't know. That don't fit, Like, that don't fit to me.
How old is Dumbledore, though? That's the question.
In the Fantastic Beasts series, I think he's like in his. Well, he's like something. He was like 100 and something in the Harry Potter series.
No, he's like 100.
He's
like 150.
Yeah, so I would say in this he's probably in his 50s.
Dumbledore?
Yeah, this is taking place about 100 or 200 years before Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like, you also got to remember McGonagall's. You got to remember McGonagall's like in her freaking. McGonagall's like 90 something when the first Harry Potter movie is happening.
So according to Google, it says that he is about 150 years old.
When he dies.
I was right then.
Fantastic Beasts Dumbledore age. Rowling said in an interview that Dumbledore was about 150 years old.
Okay, fair enough. I know Newt is in his 30s, but I know by the time that it goes down in, by the time that like Newt Scamander is still alive when Harry Potter is happening. If you pay attention to the Marauders map, the first time it shows up, whenever he's going around, you can actually see footsteps that say Newt Scamander.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So is it really true what it says at the end of the movie with the Marauders map? I always wondered if that was really true.
What is that?
That says something about something about the map. The people who originally made the Marauders map.
Yeah, it was James Potter, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew. They're the guys who created the Marauders map.
Oh shit.
So, yeah. Do you guys have any more thoughts, comments, concerns on this trailer? I thought the trailer looked okay. I was like, okay. I give you benefit of the doubt.
I just want the whole damn trilogy to be over.
Oh, it's gonna be more than a trilogy, my friend. They're getting to the climax. I bet you they're gonna pull about another 2 movies out of their ass.
They probably will. They're gonna probably Harry Potter.
I don't think they're gonna go as long as Harry Potter. I think they're probably gonna do about a 5-story arc, and then they're done.
Yeah.
We just like get somebody to bring Lampleg in and do like
Americans and Hogwarts.
Like like, well, just basically Harry Potter first, but America,
Honestly, I would love an Ilvermorny. Well, yeah, like the first Fantastic Beast was, it took place in America. I would love an Ilvermorny series. Ilvermorny is the Hogwarts of America. I would love an Ilvermorny series. That'd be awesome. But
have kids like mess with each other's Twitter posts or some shit.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, honestly, I would love to see an Americanized version of Harry Potter. Well, not Americanized, but like an American version of Harry Potter. I would love to see that. That would be interesting. For sure, it'd be like, okay, how is Ilvermorny different from Hogwarts? Like, how are we gonna do that? Like, I would love a series. Do something like an HBO Max series. Do an Ilvermorny series. What are the new creatures that you can do with Ilvermorny? Like, where would Ilvermorny be taking place? What creatures could you do? What classes could you do? What type of students could you do? There's so many things that you can do with an Ilvermorny series.
What is the wands?
At least
I would say the wands are probably the same, but I would definitely say, I would love to see how it fits more with, like, I would love a modernized version of Ilvermorny, like modern day Ilvermorny. Be like, how are you handling social media? I know that like Hogwarts technically has a Muggle charm. Like if you're a Muggle, then you when you're standing afar, you cannot see Hogwarts. That's how Hogwarts stays like hidden.
At least have a couple of Texan students.
Oh well, yeah, for sure. I will say this, like, I honestly think doing a high school musical. What's up, Teddy?
No, you said put some Texas kids in there. I got you.
I'm down. I'm 100% down. I got you.
Imagine a Texan kid going to and being a wizard, pulls out a revolver, it's a fucking wand and shit.
Pulls out 50 PMG.
No, no. It's a revolver handle with a wand coming out instead of the barrel. So it's just like he can even cock it back, and that's how he does magical spells. Be like, stupefy.
You see the stock the hammer back in the pocket. Next thing you know, it's a quick draw.
Yeah.
All right, next topic.
All right, so our next topic for tonight. Our next topic for the night is the new horror movie starring Ethan Hawke, Black Phone, has been delayed to summer of next year, and I'm actually kind of disappointed about this because the Black Phone is called. It's basically there's this child killer. He kidnaps a new kid, and there's a black phone in this room that he's hiding, that he's being locked away in, and apparently it starts ringing, and it's the ghost of the victims of this guy, and they're telling him, hey, this is how far we got, you're going to use all these clues and actually escape from this guy. So,
and the fun fact is, the phone's disconnected.
Yeah, the phone's disconnected, so like it's not like somebody pranking him. It is real, like it is real ghosts talking to him. And you have, like, I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen the trailer, definitely check it out. It's a unique idea for a horror movie. And I'm actually super sad that we're not getting it until summer. Now, granted, that being said, speaking of horror movies, we are getting Scream 5 in January, and that automatically makes me nervous. January is the dumping ground of bad horror movies. So that makes me overtly nervous for Scream. Though, granted, maybe they're doing it on purpose.
What they're gonna do?
What's
up? I think what they're gonna do with the whole Scream movie, since it's in January, I think they might end the whole series with that last movie, and that's it.
No, it's a new company. They want to do a whole trilogy.
Oh,
of course they do.
I think I've barked in my mouth again.
Of course they do.
Well, here's the thing. They're bringing back the legacy cast, those that are alive, and alive canonically in the series, and then they're also introducing a new cast, and then they're saying they're not necessarily going to have a new Sydney, they're just going to follow a new cast, and they say if this one does well, then yeah. Now, if it doesn't do well, then yes, they might actually capstone this off, but they are saying that they would like to go in a different way. Now, I will say this. There have been some interesting developments on what they're doing with the character. They have said that the mask this time around actually has the voice changer in it, so like they're not having to hold the voice changer to their mouth. So that means that we can actually have a ghost face taunting you while running after you,
and not having to hold it up.
And not having to hold up a thing. So like that is super fascinating in my opinion. That could be done really, really well. Like kind of think of the voice box thing from Scream 3, which I know was not the best thing in the world, but like something like that, but it's always this voice, and like they can actually talk to you, like taunt you while holding a knife and shit. Like that could be so fascinating. Also, we're apparently supposed to get a new mask. I would be shocked if they didn't have at least one or two killers. I would be shocked if they didn't, but
then there'd be no point of the Scream movies then if they didn't have one or two killers though.
Well, no, I get that. No, I'm just saying I don't know how many they are going to have. That was fun. That was the fun of the first one. Is you thought it was just one killer. Turns out it was two. So
yeah. And
they kind of did that with Scream 4, and then they just kept it to they kept it to one killer in Scream 3, but it was there was two killers in Scream 2, and there was two killers in Scream 4. So,
however, the Black Phone.
Anyways, on to the Black Phone. I'm glad that they're not dumping this in January because they do have faith in this, especially because I know that they're marketing Ethan Hawke, who is the villain in this movie. Just giving you a heads up. But I will say this, it is cool to see some of his masks. They are genuinely creepy.
Yeah.
And there's some like genuinely creepy shots in the trailer alone, and I would love to see this movie on the big screen.
If I can speculate for a moment.
Go ahead.
We've had a hell of a past couple of years. Yeah. Absolute living hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it might just be that them pushing it back till summer is allowing for an actual cheery Christmas season.
It wasn't supposed to come out this Christmas, though. It was supposed to come out a little earlier next year. I think it was supposed to be like May or some shit. Yeah. They just pushed it back into the summer.
June, I believe, and so that isn't even that big of a push.
No, it's not. Maybe it's because they figured out that some other stuff was coming out that week, and they're like, let's go ahead and push it back a couple weeks, where we know it'll have a decent chance at the box office.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, is this Blumhouse produced as well?
You guys are gonna see a little more light for a second.
Yeah. There she is.
Hey, Al, over there.
But yeah, I'm super excited about this movie. It is Blumhouse?
Blumhouse.
Okay, so here's the thing. It can make a modest amount in the box office and it will still make its money back. Because Blumhouse, the way they do their stuff, they give you a super low budget for the first one. If it makes money and they want to do a sequel, they got you. And then they'll actually make you put money behind it. That's how they make successful movies. The first Purge movie had like a $3 million budget, which granted sounds like a lot, and it is, but by movie standards, that's fucking lunch money, man. Like, the fact that you can make a pretty decent movie for $3 million.
We're all hungry for some good movies.
And then the sequel got a shit ton more money, and in my opinion, is a shit ton better than the first one. It actually shows us the fucking Purge. And then they killed it with the third one. Well, no, the third one was okay. Then the fourth one came out, and now the fifth one, and now they're doing a sixth one, and I'm like, okay, just fucking end this franchise. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Purge.
Please.
Yes!
Right?
That's my fucking
Nobody
point.
gives a fuck anymore.
Well, no, it still makes money, so that's why so plenty of people still give a fuck.
I thought the first movie was interesting, but
what are we talking about?
The Purge series, because we're talking about Blumhouse series.
The Purge series, they're still going on with that?
Yes, they said that this last one was gonna end it, but now they're saying no, we're gonna go for one more, and I'm like, that's how all of
money,
these.
They're grabbing money.
Well, yeah, because these movies still make money, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you go for like the interesting kills, you don't go for the actual movie. That's kind of what happened with slasher movies in the '80s, and then you had Scream revitalize it. Halloween Kills was different. Like it felt like a setup movie, but like, don't get me wrong, the kills in there were pretty fucking fantastic. I will give them that.
The whole scene with the firefighters, kind of like.
Honestly, that was a bit underwhelming in my taste. I was like, because they just kept building it up, and I'm like, eh. Now the one that was genuinely terrifying was the old couple. The older couple, like he's just killing just to kill. I was like, oh shit. That was fucking harsh.
Talking about the movie?
We're talking about Halloween Kills, yeah.
We're ADHDing at the moment.
Yes, but well, technically we're still staying on topic. We're talking about Blumhouse projects. Give us some credit.
I will admit they are connected.
Are they?
Thank you. Yeah, they all have the same production company.
We're still ADHDing.
We are, but yeah, they all have the same production company of Blumhouse.
Are they in the same universe? Or
No. They all had the same production company behind them. They're all Blumhouse movies.
Now, I'm not big on horror movies. I'm not.
We're not judging you.
Go ahead, I don't care. I grew up Mormon. You can't hurt me.
The only way I would have said that I felt more sorry for you is if you said you grew up Jehovah's Witness.
My grandfather did. My grandfather is an ex-Jehovah's.
Anyway, as I was saying, I'm still excited to see the Black Phone.
Oh yeah, just for the premise alone.
I am 100% going to see it because the story looks good just from the little bit that I have seen.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
I would have to watch it. I would have to watch the trailer and see if it looks good or not. If it does, I'll watch it. If
Yeah,
it
watch the trailer. The trailer is
Yeah.
super fascinating. At first, I was like, really? They're calling it the Black Phone? And then the trailer kept going. I'm like, I don't get it. And then I kept watching. I'm like, oh, okay. I see where you're going for. Like, the trailer takes a little bit to get you hooked in there. But once if you just stick with it and you stay with it, it will hook you, and it's pretty good in my opinion. But if you have any more, do you guys have any more thoughts, comments, concerns on the Black Phone getting delayed till summer of next year?
You
I'm
said
gonna
Black
probably watch the
Phone,
trailer and see how it goes. If it goes good, like you guys are saying it does, I'm more likely to be excited to watch the series, watch the show,
Yeah, the movie.
watch the movie. Sorry.
Joe, what'd you
The
say?
only thing I'm
I-
gonna say
more movies because
What were you saying, Teddy?
The only thing I'm going to say about it is I'm just curious. Even though I know about the trailer, it's been a while since I've actually seen it.
Mhm.
But I'm curious if it's going to all like be the entire time in that room, or if they're going to show any shot side of the room.
From the trailer, they are showing that his friend is looking for him. So like we might be spending majority of the time in the room, yes, or in that house. But beyond that, it's kind of gonna be similar to what Don't Breathe did, where you're mostly in the house for like the 90% of the movie. So I think that's what we're gonna get to. I think that's what we're getting with this. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they're kind of going with a dual supernatural element with him and his friend.
Yeah, that is kind of true. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will happily wait the extra couple weeks.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I'm super excited to whenever we get an official release
Since
date.
you guys said that, I was thinking of something too
What's up?
about it. So there was this movie that came out on Netflix. It's about a kid who wrote horror stories, and this witch trapped him trapped in her house. He was forced to write horror stories.
This sounds like a
I don't
Goosebumps
think so.
episode.
It really does.
No.
no,
It does, but it's not. And he's forced to write scary stories with this one other child. But the thing is, there's kids before him, and the kids wrote in the books a way to put the witch to sleep so they can escape.
That actually sounds super fascinating.
Some shit like that.
You can
I
find
forgot
the
what it's
title.
called. I know it's on Netflix.
Yeah, put the title in general chat whenever you get the chance. All right, if you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go into our one of our final topics for the night, and then we'll we're down to the last two, by the way. So if you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go into our next topic.
Okay.
All right. So speaking of No Way Home, we actually have the official reason why Willem Dafoe agreed to come back as Green Goblin in this movie. And would you guys like to know what it is?
Let's hear it.
He wanted to beat the crap out of Tom Holland.
No, he wanted to do his own stunts. And they let him.
Oh my god.
He did his
How
own
old is
stunts.
this man?
I remember that.
Yeah, he's in his 60s, I believe. I don't think he's that old.
I'm not saying he's crazy, but
Bro,
man,
he's basically
Oh,
doing
no.
what's his name?
Willem Dafoe is absolutely crazy.
Oh,
And we love
100%, and we love it. He's like Nicolas Cage. He's like a more sophisticated Nicolas Cage. We actually love him for it.
except Nicolas Cage
Nicolas
is broke,
Cage?
right?
Nicolas Cage is broke, yes. Joe, you're also like, you're being cut up by your background.
You
Oh,
really are. You are
sorry.
so off. You are so far off camera. The background
No,
is taken over.
I have melded into my domain.
Uh-huh. Meld out of your domain before I go
What's he
Iranian
called?
and kick your ass.
The Mission Impossible.
I just
who's in it?
like, I just
Tom
like,
Cruise?
slick down.
Yeah, okay, Tom Cruise has been
Tom
sucking
Cruise.
off of dead fetuses, though. That's the problem, because he's in Scientology.
Oh, okay, that's gonna get us demonetized.
Ah, fucking who gives a shit. We're not getting monetization from this. We're barely even getting viewership.
Or let me rephrase this. Damn, the first Scientology really going downhill.
Tom
Dude.
Cruise is a level of crazy we try not to aspire to.
I will say this, Tom Cruise
Doesn't
his
he do his
ego
own
has
stunts,
calmed
though?
down. I will give him that. I will give Tom Cruise this. His ego has tremendously died down.
Why can't we just?
I'm just gonna point this out. The peak was his showing on Oprah. Him calming down isn't saying much.
That is true. No, I'm saying he's usually more open to working with other people in the movies, especially Mission Impossible. Like it used to be, it went from oh, this is kind of an indie spy movie, and then the second one was like, it's the Tom Cruise show and Friends. You know, like, that's kind of what it was. It's like, it's the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible with Friends.
But
you know, like,
But did he get out of the closet though?
no,
but
he's still yet to
Willem
get out
Dafoe
of the
doing his
closet.
own stunts. Willem Dafoe doing his own stunts. That is
I feel bad, but at the same time,
that is
it's like,
something I will enjoy seeing.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He did. He the only reason why he came back. He's like, yeah, no, the main reason why I came back. It wasn't the money. It wasn't, you know, like he said that was nice, but like he's like, no, it's because I wanted to do my own stunts, and I was like, oh, that's awesome actually, because I don't think he got to do his own stunts in the original.
I don't think so.
I don't think he did. But then he came back and he was saying like usually he doesn't mind, you know, not doing his own stunts, but he's like, well, this is a superhero movie. I kind of want to do my own stunts for this, and yeah.
Willem Dafoe has such a...
He did have a stunt double, however, for like some of the stuff that he didn't know how to do. But like majority of his stunts he did for himself.
Willem Dafoe has a way of carrying himself that you know who it is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he played Beyond Two Souls yet too. Yeah.
What got me weirded out when everybody was saying Willem Dafoe came back as the Green Goblin, and I was like, wait, hold on, didn't he die?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point.
Dudes die. It was
Yeah.
weird to me.
Well,
That's
okay,
the whole
so-
point of Spider-Man No Way Home. They even say it in the trailer. Like that's not spoilers, folks. That's the whole point. They point that out in the trailer. It's like
These two died. One died in a scientist in an experiment went wrong right after he became a villain, and then the other one died from self-infliction by his
Glider blades.
goblin wing. His
Yeah,
glider
trying
blade
to-
was smoke.
trying
Wasn't
to
very
do that.
good at dodgeball.
Did not account for that Spidey sense triggering the way it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Spider-Man. I will say this. Okay, so it's not really a big spoiler, but my theater clapped whenever you heard Willem Dafoe say, "I'm something of a scientist myself."
Wasn't he though?
No, he says that line though. That's become a meme.
Oh wow.
That's something.
Yeah. That the whole scene, like right there when he's like, "I'm something of a scientist myself," that's become a meme. Like, and my entire theater, for the most part, I laughed my ass off. I actually laughed. I was the only one that did. My theater clapped. I was like, okay.
Well, and okay. So you have to account for the fact that they haven't had a Green Goblin the way William Dafoe did it. Like,
You do not talk
Amazing
about what's his name.
Amazing Spider-Man 2
Really well.
tried and failed.
Dane DeHaan. Honestly, here's the thing. I don't think Dane DeHaan is a bad choice for Green Goblin. It's the way that
No.
they did it.
Precisely.
The way that they did it was bullshit. Now,
We
could they
haven't
have
had
teased him as Green Goblin? Oh, absolutely. 100%. They could have ended it with Electro being killed and then tease Green Goblin later on. And then you could have had a third movie, but they didn't. And that's why we're at where it is.
I still believe that he deserved it. Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Garfield, you mean?
That's all.
Andrew Garfield deserves a third movie. Oh, I 100%
does.
agree.
He really does. But anyway,
he was
But Toby
he was
also
a good
deserves a
Spider-Man.
fourth movie.
if I can finish my thought,
Go ahead, Allie.
Go ahead.
Willem Dafoe has deserved this role.
Oh, 100%.
The way he was excellent in the first Spider-Man movie.
As cheesy as it was.
Well, and that's the
Agreed.
thing. That was an out and out Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's you who's out, Gabi. Out of your mind.
Like, I will admit it was cheesy, but it was cheesy in the way that Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe put 110% into that role.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm so happy to see him come back.
Oh yeah. He's out of all the villains, he does get the most screen time. I will give him that. So, yeah, I'm honestly still in disbelief that some of the stuff that does happen in this movie has happened. I'm gonna keep it as vague as that is. Like, there's some stuff that happens in this movie, and it's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And like,
you want to say so much about this movie, but you
I
can't.
do because not a fucking single one of you have seen it. You
Give it a
assholes.
Give it a week.
Ugh.
Give it a week, and most of us will have.
Week, and plus I'll be down there. Just
Not all of us are willing to put up with opening night.
I didn't go
I'm
see it
not.
opening night. I saw it opening day. Who the fuck goes to opening night?
just
saw it
as
opening
bad.
day. I don't want to go see the opening day because
Dude, I saw it
just
Friday
as
at
bad.
12, and okay, granted, it was packed, but still, like, it was up to 25% off to see it in Dolby Cinema. I'm not gonna fucking...
Just as bad.
Not that bad. I mean, yeah, I had to sit in the front row, but I don't... No.
For somebody with my level of social anxiety, that is a nightmare.
feel that
Okay,
way,
to be fair, I was in the front row where there was only, like, there was one kid all the way to my left. By kid, I mean, like, he was probably, like, 18, 19 or whatever. And then there was, like, 2 kids and 2 adults all the way towards the edge on my right. I was a dead center in the front row. And then when I turned around, I'm like, oh shit, my theater's actually kind of packed. As I was leaving. So, like, that's the best way to put it, is like, I was leaving, and then they're like, I was like, oh shit, it's actually kind of packed. But I was in there before the movie even started. Like, I showed up, like, 30 minutes before even the trailer started. So.
I usually sit there for, like, the first hour before the movie starts.
This is actually a really good example of how far comic book movies have come.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad, bro.
They used to be
the fact that
comic book, or like comic book
coming.
movies used to be freaking, they used to be like box office disaster. Now they're
Yeah.
actually box office gold. Like, do I think
Yeah.
we're oversaturated with superhero movies? 100% I do.
Probably.
But
God, because eventually now they have TV shows. They have new superheroes, new superhero TV shows.
oh, by the
One
way, we are
where-
getting a Blue Beetle live action movie in theaters from Warner Brothers.
Oh, we're supposed to be getting We're supposed to be getting a. I'm supposed to say Gandalf. Man, he starts with a G. He can make cards into explosive. I can't remember his name.
Gambit?
Oh,
They've been talking about a
Gambit.
Gambit movie
Turn
for
in your
years.
nerd card,
Dude, they've been talking about a
I'm not
Gambit
even a
movie
nerd,
for
though.
years.
I'm not.
Gandalf. Oh my god.
It sounds the same. Leave me alone.
Gambit and
We're gonna
Gandalf.
send your
Okay,
ass
yeah,
to the
fair.
Lost Mines of Moria.
Don't get Joe started on Lord of the Rings. We'll be here for 3 hours. Anyways,
Nah.
that being said,
They have been talking about a Gambit movie since the Wolverine movie we don't talk about.
that's true.
Look. I'm just
Which,
saying.
to be
we might
fair,
be getting one.
To be fair, in that movie that we do not talk about, Gambit was one of the best parts of that.
He really was.
I
But
thought the
they-
movie was good. It's just the fact that the Deadpool in that one sucked balls.
The movie itself, even excluding the Deadpool shit that they do, the movie
was-
itself was mediocre at best.
It was good. It was good to me. All right, it was good. To
Oh,
me.
when I
Okay.
grew up with it as a kid, I loved it. But like now, I look back and I'm like, no, it's pretty bad. Plus, you have Hugh Jackman slipping his accent like 5 times throughout the movie, when in every other movie he's done where he actually gives a shit, he didn't do that. That was the one movie where he did not give a shit, and his Australian accent
He was
freaking
tired
came
of,
out.
I think he was tired of playing Wolverine right after that last one.
After
Right
freaking
after
X-Men
the,
Origins?
Right after the movie, the Origins. I think he was tired of playing Wolverine. That's why.
Yeah, and then he got it
Because the last-
revitalized.
He played in the last 2 movies he played in before he decided to kill off Wolverine. They were kind of like the last 2 movies. They were good.
Days of
but
Future
they
Past
were,
and the
he was
Wolverine.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Days of Future Past was one of the last ones I saw him give a shit in, minus Logan. And the Wolverine was actually pretty decent. The Wolverine was just kind of disappointing. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, but they did battle on a train.
Yeah, that
But-
was pretty dope.
All
Wolverine
this
in
goes back
Japan
to-
was pretty cool.
All this goes back to they have been teasing Gambit for years, and they're
Dude, Channing Tatum was gonna play him. Which is honestly not a bad choice.
no, it's not a bad
No,
choice. I hadn't
don't-
heard that one though.
The way people make Gambit seem, I don't think China.
I will say this.
I think somebody with more
I will say this.
of a background.
I personally think if you're gonna go
Good
for a
thing you
young
Patrick Harris.
Gambit, get Timothy Chalamet. I think he fits the I think he could pull off a Gambit. Like a young Gambit.
If I knew who that was.
Timothy
just-
Chalamet?
I
You don't
need
know who
somebody.
Timothy Chalamet is.
I want somebody who can pull off that Cajun accent.
That is true too.
Is he Cajun?
Yeah, Gambit's Louisiana,
one
man.
guy, I
He's
can't
from
remember his
Louisiana.
name.
He is deep Louisiana boy.
Oh yeah, have you not seen the original '90s cartoon?
No, I'm not.
Dude, it's on Disney Plus. Check it out. It's pretty good.
I wish I had the guy that plays one of the cops in CSI New Orleans.
And with that, you made
Bye, Teddy.
you made Teddy go away. Thanks,
Teddy.
Joe. Thanks. Anyways.
Let's finish up.
Sorry, bye. Just had
Yeah.
to go.
All right, so on to our final topic. All right, we had Hawkeye Season 1, Episode 5 come out this week, and there is going to be, unlike No Way Home, there is going to be spoilers galore about this episode. So, Joe, if you don't want to hear it, shut the fuck up and mute.
Alright, just actually ping me.
Oh, I'll just throw you in horny jail. Don't worry about it.
He's already deafened.
I know. That's why I said it wherever he was.
We lost him. We lost him.
He's fine.
I already seen the last episode. I seen it. It was good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. So, you want to talk about it? You want to get it out of the way? It's official. Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, is coming back in this fucking show, and I'm so fucking pumped. Yes, that's who that was in the photo of the last episode.
Like, he better be back.
It's the same white suit, dude. It's confirmed.
If they got a freaking look-alike, they are going to have so many mad fans.
No, it's confirmed, dude.
About time.
Mm-hmm. They confirmed it. They're like, oh yeah, no, D'Onofrio's back.
My favorite part of the whole movie was when what's her name sat down and ate macaroni.
Yelena. Honestly, here's the thing.
Sitting there,
Yelena
saying her
is
name,
better
it's
in
just
this
fucking
show.
funny, bro.
In my opinion, Yelena is better in this show than she was in the Black Widow movie. She was
To be
fine.
To be fair, in the Black Widow movie, we just got introduced to her and we had no idea what to expect. Here, we've got a better idea, and this is a little more freeform than we're doing this mission, otherwise we're gonna die.
Also, my thing is if they don't give Lucky the pizza dog his fucking name, I swear to God. They have been teasing it since episode 2, and I've been pissed. I'm like, God damn it, just name him Lucky, I swear to God.
Lucky the piece of.
Because that's his name in the comic run that they're mostly basing this off of.
How many would you use to give some random ass some different names of a comic?
Well, they call him Lucky because I think I know he's missing an eye, and they call him Lucky the pizza dog because he likes pizza. So
No, I'm just saying, what if they gave him a whole different name though?
That would be some bullshit, and they would lose a lot of fans.
They really would.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, you see how defensive people get over like how comic accurate shit is. They will lose their shit if you don't name the dog the right name. Also, I don't think the firefighter is going to make it the next episode. I'm sorry. I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to die.
He's gonna die. Yeah, he's gonna die.
I think he's going to die. Because they gave him the character of they gave him the name of a character that does die in that comic run.
I enjoyed the girls' night between Yelena and Kate, and just Yelena's exit from that scene.
Oh yeah, that was pretty dope. I will say this.
What surprised me was that I find that the Indian girl's uncle is Kingpin. Though. What surprised me was that.
They've been hinting at it heavily.
Yeah, they really have.
Like,
know,
okay,
it's
when
just
he
so
grabs her
weird.
cheek
It's
as a
like-
child, you can see the cufflink. You can see a cufflink, and I'm like, okay, that's Kingpin. Also, if you know Vincent D'Onofrio as an actor, you've heard that laugh. That was D'Onofrio. I'm like, they couldn't have recreated that. That would have
I
been
know,
bullshit if they
he
did.
wanted to kill his brother. That's
Oh yeah, no. Here's the thing. I don't see the deaf girl making it. I really don't. Either she's going to get excommunicated or she's going to die. I think she is going to be killed by Kingpin. You and I have talked about this earlier. Yeah, I don't think she's going to make it next week. I really don't. Because also they would piss off so many fans if she ends up killing Kingpin. I don't think. Now here's the thing. I don't think she's gonna go out without a fight. I think she is gonna like get a few good hits on him, but then he's just gonna overpower her. I think that's really what's gonna happen.
Because that's what he is though.
Kingpin's just a big dude. They were hinting at that they might have put him in a fat suit to make him like even bigger. I'm like, no, don't do that to D'Onofrio. He's already a fat dago.
Well, and this would be a good chance for them to show us how brutal Kingpin can be.
Oh, yeah. You want an idea of how
Because-
brutal Kingpin can be, go play the the opening act of the Spider-Man game. That'll give you a good hint.
I'm talking as far as the shows are concerned.
That's true.
Because
Go look at
we've
Spider-Verse to find that too.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Spider-Verse is a different barrel of fish because animation can be a lot more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, you're saying that you want to see how brutal he can be. Go look at Spider-Man. Go look at Spider-Man Spider-Verse and see.
Let me explain. We've already seen that Maya is dangerous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We see that she is absolutely not dependent on her hearing, and
Yeah.
that it doesn't hamper her. Seeing Kingpin not only take hits but actually overwhelm her
Mm-hmm.
when Hawkeye couldn't.
Well, even Hawkeye said he didn't want this guy to be involved. He's like,
Yeah.
that's the big guy. That's the Kingpin. He's like, that's the one I didn't want to be involved. And I'm like, oh shit, they might actually, like, I think Kingpin's gonna kill somebody. I don't think they're not gonna show that. And I think just because they set up the idea that her beloved uncle is the one that killed her, is the one that sent the hit out on her father, who I don't think is actually his brother. I think they just call him uncle to, like, because, like, okay, you know how many kids, like, if you're a friend of people who have kids, they technically call you uncle or aunt. I think it's something like that, where it's like they've known you for a while, so they just call you aunt or uncle. But yeah, I think he's going to kill her. Either kill her or severely injure her.
Kingpin is an overwhelming force when in a fight,
Mm-hmm.
whereas Maya is very much Maya's a rogue.
Mm-hmm. That's the best
to put
way
it
to
into
put it.
D&D terms. Put
Yeah.
it into D&D terms, Maya is a rogue. Kingpin is a wall.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the whole point. Yeah, like I genuinely do think that Kingpin. I think he's going to definitely take some hits, but I don't think he's gonna lose. I don't think they're unless they really want to go for strong female empowerment. I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna do that at the expense of a villain, of a new villain on top of that.
If they're gonna do female empowerment, they've got better ways to do it.
Exactly. Like they're already doing it with Kate. Kate is the best way to do it. Yeah.
Kate taking the kill would be female empowerment.
Oh, Kate, like shooting.
Or getting any kind of severe blow on Kingpin.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Maya killing him would not.
I don't want them to go to where it's like it's Maya, Kate, and Yelena fighting Kingpin. That's gonna be too much like well, you're gonna need a lot of help to get through that. Don't worry, she has help. Like that shit from Avengers Endgame where it's like, ooh, girls. I'm like,
well,
really?
Not just that. Not just that.
It came out of nowhere.
The show is Hawkeye.
That's true. I will say this: I don't think Kingpin's going to die.
No.
But that doesn't mean that he won't lose. I think he is either going to get arrested or he's going to lose something. There's no way that he isn't. Now, as to exactly why he's after that watch, I don't know. That I don't know. Or why Yelena was, or not Yelena, Maya was after the watch. That doesn't make sense. I think they have to wrap that up. There's no way that you're just going to call it MacGuffin.
They have to explain the watch at some point.
Yeah, I think it's holding a secret, and I think it's about Hawkeye's wife. I really do.
I think so too.
She's been a big old part of this whole damn.
Especially whenever she started just pulling German out of her ass.
Yeah,
I was like, no, you were a SHIELD agent. I'm telling you right now, she was a SHIELD agent, and then when her and Clint fell for each other. And then I guess she eventually got pregnant. They're like, oh no, we'll put you in a retirement. We'll give you retirement, and you can go live on a farm far away where nobody can find you.
When Clint made his apology to the plaque,
I thought he was gonna kill some folks.
Straight up, like
I
thought he's just like, I have no other choice. I am going to have to go all the way back.
Yeah.
But to see but to see him take that entire fight and not kill a single person,
Yeah.
scare the shit out of a lot of them, but not kill.
Dude, that was like the closest Marvel ever got to Batman. Like,
Bro,
that was genuinely terrifying.
You know what I really want to see?
What's
I
that?
want to see him go at Spider-Man.
You want to see Ronan go at Spider-Man? Or are you saying
No.
Kingpin?
Kingpin.
No, because they wouldn't do that for a Hawkeye show.
No, I mean like in a different series.
Oh,
So-
yeah, no, I could definitely see that happening.
Like in the Spider-Man
Because
series.
Kingpin is one of those I don't know how many or how few Spider-Man and Daredevil share.
So the thing about Kingpin is he's not a villain for any specific hero.
No.
Kingpin is who he is because he runs everything. He runs everything, which means he is technically a villain for everybody in New York
Superheroes
and beyond.
Bro, what if that building that Spider-Man flew through at the end of Far From Home wasn't the Baxter building? What if
Look.
it's freaking Fisk?
Look,
Think
we'll
about
find
that.
out. Well, we haven't seen it, so we really don't know.
No, that building
No,
that he
but-
flies through at the end of Far From Home. Not No Way Home.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about Far From Home.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, that might be Fisk Industries.
But
Oh shit.
I agree, they're not going to kill him off.
No,
That would be a stupid move
that'd be very stupid
because
move. Especially with
he-
who they
he is
teased at the very
such a-
beginning of Spider-Man No Way Home.
he is such an iconic villain for
Mhm.
so many heroes.
Yeah.
Killing him off would basically kill. It would be the first nail in the coffin for the MCU.
It
Yeah.
would. I agree. Now that
I
being
feel
said,
it-
Go
I
ahead.
think he is going to make repeat appearances as the different TV series come out.
yeah, I could see that. I could see him showing up in
Really
like
weird
Captain
that he
America
was
and Winter
black.
Soldier. I could see him showing up in like a Spider-Man movie or
The
two.
Deadpool movie.
What, you mean Daredevil?
Deadpool.
Oh, you're talking about Deadpool?
Yeah. Like we're still talking about Kingpin, right?
Yeah, Kingpin. I don't know if
Yeah.
Deadpool and Kingpin ever really go at it all that often.
I don't know. I would have to look up the comments.
Because Deadpool
But
is really
Daredevil-
more of an anti-hero. Daredevil, I know that Kingpin primarily, the two main heroes that he fights against are Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Daredevil
Basically-
because of where he Daredevil because of where he comes from, and Spider-Man because of what he stands for.
Yep.
Yeah. The thing is
Exactly.
with Daredevil is they already put him against him though. In the
Yeah.
Daredevil movie when they came out with it, they put
You're
him
talking
against
about-
Kingpin.
Well, yeah, because every Daredevil movie or show has him going against Kingpin, so far. Now I will say this: do you guys really want to know? Because it's technically a spoiler, but it's like in the first 30 minutes of No Way Home, and it's just one of the
I was
cameos.
watching it, bro. I just watched
It's one of the cameos. It ties to this particular conversation we're having.
Daredevil is in the first 30 minutes.
Matt Murdock. Same difference, I know.
Oh, wow.
And guess who it is played by? Guess who it is played by?
Who?
Charlie Cox.
Actor who
Actor
the
who
guy
played him in the
played
show.
series or what?
The guy who played him in the series. Yes, 100%.
The one that you look like?
Yes.
And I'm not lying, you legit look like him.
I know, I do kind of look like Charlie Cox. Hold on, wait. For the sake of this, hold on. I'll be right back.
Well, of course you
So,
would.
while he's gone, while he's over there doing that, some other
Yup.
things I enjoyed.
Are y'all done, or you just went to go?
Oh,
through
we're still at it.
Yes.
You rat bastard.
What's up?
No, he's whenever we're almost done.
I see you with
I-
those fucking
I think we're
sunglasses, bitch.
Well, I technically already spoiled something for No Way Home, but it was like within the first 30 minutes, so don't worry about it. Alright, if you guys are done, well, I think we can go ahead and wrap up this entire episode.
All right,
Have
all right.
something for a quickie.
you know I can go on.
Okay, well, if you want to go to SnodaQuicks, we can.
Oh no, I'm just saying for the last.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go to SnodaQuicks. All right, so second time we're actually going to ever do this. We now have, instead of movie talks, we now have SnodaQuicks, which is essentially the same thing. It's an excuse to talk about any topic that we would like to talk about or further elaborate on anything, as long as it revolves around entertainment news as a whole. So, Joe, go ahead. I swear to God, Joe, I just cut to this for you. You fucking asshole.
Okay.
Can I just reach through the screen now?
Yes, you can reach through the screen now, Allie. Okay, so that being said, while Joe recollects his thoughts, I actually have something. It is official. Spider-Man 4 is under production. According to Kevin Feige, is going to be trying to come out as quickly as possible. Now, that being said, Tom Holland has also casted doubts on whether or not he will even return for another one, because he did say that he doesn't want to play Spider-Man much beyond his 30s. Which is kind of fair.
He does believe, even I feel like, you know, here's my thing about this, but here's my thing. Because we talked about this yesterday. We didn't mean you talk about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The whole thing about him aging and how they should put Miles as the next Spider-Man and stuff like that. I still stand by it, because if he goes over the age of 30 and plays it, I think they should retire him as Spider-Man, but being Miles' teacher.
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
I think that's what the next trilogy should be: is setting up him being the teacher for Miles.
In the comic line, Peter Parker actually runs a company.
I know.
A technology company, like a big technology company.
Parker Industries.
Right? Yeah,
yeah, I know that.
The whole Doc Ock mind switch.
I understand. Tom Holland is saying he doesn't want to play it into his 30s. Completely understand that. There are other projects out there, and at this point, he is known as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's supposed to be doing the Uncharted series too, though. You gotta understand this. Tom Holland's supposed to be doing the Uncharted series.
Yeah,
that is true.
So that's why I think that's why he wants to retire off of Spider-Man and send it to another person, because he's supposed to be going into Uncharted.
Well, and the other part of it is
so hard for it.
The other part of it is if he kept playing Spider-Man after this, he would basically have to put everything else on hold, because he would be Spider-Man.
True.
Stepping down as Spider-Man frees him up to do other projects, which isn't a bad thing.
Just for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Miles Morales take the spotlight.
I really would do.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to hear the whole. Never mind. Forget it. I just don't want to hear that shit.
Heck,
no, I know what you're talking about. I
I
think we all know what you're talking about. So yeah, no, I
just don't
agree.
want to hear that shit about it.
No, I 100% agree.
There are Silk, Spider-Woman.
He has brought up those other characters as well.
These are characters that aren't in other realities of the Spider-Verse. These are people in the main reality, the main continuity.
Right.
These are also people who could take the spotlight.
This is true.
Yeah. Either or. They go with the female empowerment. They go with Gwen being the next Spider-Man, be the next Spider-Woman.
Well, they haven't even set up Gwen, so that would make no sense in any way, shape, or form. I personally think Silk would be a more interesting one, because we technically have seen Gwen. We technically even seen Spider-Gwen on the big screen, not in live action, mind you, but we have seen Spider-Gwen. So like honestly,
especially when you consider the fact that sorry, hold on, give me a second to get my brain back in order.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you consider the fact that Silk's story can come out of nowhere. Silk's entire backstory is she lived in a bunker for most of her life.
Oh yeah.
Is she also the same high school as Peter?
Well, they can make that the same college.
But
here's the problem with that, though. I just realized it too. But you continue, though. I'll say it after you're done.
But Silk is a great character to pass the torch to, because it's a different storyline within the same reality. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting storyline because it's this person who has existed within basically a pocket in this reality, and now has to adapt to everything on top of spider powers.
Right.
Not only that, if they follow the comics, Silk is kind of an undercover agent.
Okay. I still believe they can go either or with it. They can go with female empowerment, or they can go with the other one. But like I said, the only problem I think it is with the female empowerment with Gwen It is if I do, they would have to kill off Peter Parker as Peter Parker, not as Spider-Man. Since
Well,
that's what they're going to be doing by the comics.
If they do Spider-Gwen, we would be in a completely different reality.
Yeah, because in Spider-Gwen's reality, it's Gwen Stacy that gets bit by the spider, and Peter Parker becomes the lizard, and then she kills him.
Yeah,
That's a big oof.
Mm-hmm. Which we do get very heavy hints at in Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
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 They don't overtly say it, but yeah. So that's kind of the whole thing. But I will say this. I actually, speaking, well, I've already done that, but I will say this. I'll say what I told Gallows the other night is I personally think you can have one solo movie of where they leave Peter Parker in this one, which I think I've explained to all of you except for Joe, because Joe deafened himself. But, so where they leave him off.
I deafened myself too. Come on.
Okay, so where they leave him off is a way that they're setting up a new trilogy, which is fine, and I like it. I like where they leave him off. It's a really good. If you think about it, this whole entire trilogy has been a Spider-Man origin story, setting up the next trilogy. So that's where I can kind of appreciate Homecoming for its flaws on like whole. Oh, this Peter Parker doesn't have any consequences, and like same thing with Far From Home and everything else like that. Whereas this one kind of gives it a reason like, oh, this is the one where the consequences finally catch up with him, and now he's in a different situation. So you have that.
Don't let everybody else's consequences though.
Well,
That's the thing.
But anyways, let me continue.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I get it.
No, you guys keep interrupting my thoughts. I get to do it now. No, go ahead.
I get it, Ali. I'm sorry. But anyways, and yes, I am going to do the rest of the podcast in these glasses. Fuck you. Anyways, that being said, so I think you should have one solo movie of him going to college, because they do hint at him getting his GED for non-spoiler reasons. I'm not going to say why, but yeah, like they do show him getting his GED, and then you have all that fun stuff. So I think you should have one movie where it's him in college, like trying to balance a college work and Spider-Man life. And then you have either Miles or somebody show up that he's going to have to train to be a spider person. And I think that's what the next one should be. It should be him becoming a mentor. Not unlike what Tony was for him. So him becoming a mentor. And then the final movie should be him finally passing the torch and dying. Now, will that kind of force Tom Holland to be in his early 30s by the time that all those come out? Yes. Do I think that's a bad plan? No, I think it's a good way to send him off. That way he still has 6 movies of him as Spider-Man. Like, which is more than any of the others. Yeah, just 3 more.
Then Tom Andrews, and then 2 more. Then
no, I think that's what they should do. Is I genuinely think they should do something along those lines, where I think it should be one more solo movie of him just being Spider-Man. I would say maybe include Kingpin. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. And then of course from there, maybe include Daredevil, because reasons.
Oh, I just realized something.
What's up?
I just got an idea too. I just realized this. So, you remember how in the comics, you know how this is going by comic rule and shit like that? Alright, so you remember how in the comics he wanted everybody to forget who he was and stuff as Spider-Man?
The One More Day? Yeah, he makes a deal with Mephisto instead of Doctor Strange, yes.
Yeah.
He does that, and he fights Kingpin, and worries that he says the line what he says in the comic books to Kingpin, and then they go off to the story where he dies off to be he trains Miles or whoever, and he dies basically.
Yeah, the Ultimates comic.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
That's basically what they be stepping towards.
Yeah, I think they should be stepping towards someone taking the mantle, whether it is Miles Morales in live action or you have a different person. I still think he should be a mentor role. Like, give him one more solo movie of where it's just him as Spider-Man, especially being on his own where they left him off, and then have him basically mentor someone else in the next movie, have that kind of be the whole plot synopsis behind that, and then have him still continue to be a mentor by the 3rd movie, and then maybe have him die off. either in the midway point or at the end. Like, send them off well, where they do have someone that can take the torch. And that's where I think you should do it. I think that's the best way to do it.
Agreed.
Do kind of like what Hawkeye's doing right now. Like, I can already tell you Kate Bishop's going to take the mantle of Hawkeye. There's no way she's not.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Totally.
do I think it's going to be by the end of this season? No. I don't think it's going to be by the end of this season. I think it might be about halfway through the second season.
This season is the Hawkeye actually warming up to mentoring somebody.
Yeah. No, 100% I agree. Now, Joe, have you thought about what your idea for SnodaQuicks are?
Real quick.
Go ahead, Allie.
Because otherwise, I want this point out.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, you made the comment about this being Spider-Man facing consequences. Something the MCU has been good at lately is showing the consequences of these heroes' actions.
Fair.
In Homecoming, we saw how the aftermath of the Avengers caused the situation in Homecoming.
Fair, but that's technically not Spider-Man's fault.
No.
I'm talking about, like, personal consequences,
hold
like
on.
the bill being due. That's what I'm saying they pay off in this movie.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Iron Man 2. The infection from the core that he was using.
Mm-hmm.
Because of like they have been slowly getting more and more into the actions of these heroes have consequences, whether it's personal consequences or consequences that echo throughout the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
No, I get it. I will say this, like, personal consequences, like, the bill is due, is what this movie mostly focuses on. Like, the bill has come due for Peter Parker, and he pays the fucking price for it. Like, he bites a couple of really big bullets in this movie. Again, I'm keeping it vague for spoiler reasons, but, like, once you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, I will say this. Going back to my thoughts on this, I'm going to keep it vague. There are a couple gripes that I do have. I'm still going to keep it vague. There's a particular character that pulls a power out of their ass, and then it's never mentioned beyond that, minus like a slight throwaway line. And then on top of that, there is a particular very heavy emotional thing that happens, and literally the next scene, not only does said character pull power out of their ass, it's also a shit ton of fan service. And it's like you're still trying to emotionally, deal with emotionally process the whole thing, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's your fan service," and it's like,
You dick.
it's like I'm so fucking happy that this is happening, but it's also like, but you just did that. You could have let that marinate for a little longer.
Like, it feel unnecessary.
What happens? They could have let it marinate for a little longer, and then granted, after the fan service, they do let it marinate, but it's just like, oh no, we got to get this fan service out of the way. And I'm like, in like technical terms, I understand, but it's also like, you could have done it a little better. Like, just tonally wise, you could have done it better. But that's my only big nitpick throughout the rest of the movie. Like, I will say the first act is very choppy, but once you get to that bridge scene, it gets a lot better. Beyond that, I still think this movie is, like I said, one of my favorite it's definitely one of my favorite Spider-Man movies for the time being right now. But yeah. All right, Joe, what were you gonna talk about for SnodaQuicks?
Let's just say it's a supercut rant.
Supercut. What the hell is that?
Can like the whole gaming industry and everybody just fuck off with the NFTs?
I'm gonna assume I know what NFTs are, but continue.
Non-fungible tokens. It's like,
Oh.
suppose like you have like an image of like a video game character, and it's like really unique one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about currency in games?
Basically, like kind of.
So, NFTs have been a thing for a little bit now. I know that it's been this huge debate over whether they're actually good or not, and there's there's actually an environmental impact because of these things for some reason. And
They don't solve
I
any
say
problem.
I say that because I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to understand what exactly these things are.
I'm confused because I'm trying to figure out. You guys talking about like currency, game currency?
No, from my understanding, and again, this is what I have been able to understand, which isn't much. It's basically a digital art piece that is being sold for a good amount of money.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. All right,
It's
I got what
fucking
you're talking
retarded, though.
about.
Hold on.
I saw a TikTok user doing it on his stuff. He was talking about how there's a picture of a monkey that went.
You guys
for,
want to
like,
know
so
the
much
official
money.
Wikipedia description?
Sure, go ahead.
A non-fungible token is a unique and non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a blockchain, a form of digital ledger. NFTs can be associated with reproducible digital files such as photos, videos, and audio. They're going for about 14 cents, and they trade for upwards of 40 to 42 grand.
Yeah.
Damn, you can make that much money off that shit?
Mhm.
I mean, or you could likely get your ass scammed off.
Well, of course, there's always going to be scammers in any type of currency.
It's
I bet you Bitcoin.
I think it's the most stupidest thing that
internet coin.
waters to gaming.
Joe,
Yeah.
you're blurry as fuck right now.
Yeah, very blurry.
Internet.
Ubisoft had like started their own
Bitcoin and
NFT thing
other shit
called
like that.
Quartz.
Bet
And
you
then
there's that shit too.
Ubisoft tried to start their own NFT thing called Quartz. They had a trailer for about an NFT for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, one of the worst games in the series.
Eh.
And they're like, oh, hey, there's this NFT that's a helmet you could get in the game to use, but how many hours do you have to play to get it? 600 hours to get it.
That's stupid.
No, I mean, it's like, hey, what does NFTs and gaming have solve for the gaming industry? Absolutely fucking nothing.
I think they're just trying to make money through the gaming industry. I think that's what they're trying to do.
That's the thing.
Money
It's
through the gaming industry is a big win for them.
it's for as far as the gaming industry is concerned, it's kind of the new microtransaction.
It's basically, I basically see it as the next like junk coin.
The horror game that was real popular recently, Poppy Playtime. The company behind that did a NFT style thing lately, where you buy an image and get a video clip associated with something that's going on. This is on top of the merch that they're already selling, and they've only made a certain number of these images. And it's just it's
just
again.
Bullshit. That's all I'm hearing from this. Is just a bunch of.
Yes.
It is. It really is.
You guys are saying like the way you're saying it, there's so much shit with it. There's so much like bullshit problems with it. It's not worth dealing with anymore.
And
Yeah.
something about the way they are made is actually having an impact on the environment.
It doesn't
How?
do shit.
These are internet based stuff, aren't they?
Again, I don't understand completely, but something about the blockchains themselves.
The way that you have to mine them uses so much energy that it's actually bad for the environment.
There we go.
That's why.
It's
See,
the
that-
same
that-
problem
that's-
with cryptocurrency as a whole. Any blockchain, the amount of processing and energy power to get really rich off of it without spending days, weeks, months, years, like I'm talking like months and years really. If you have so much of it, like there's honestly mining areas over in like I think Sweden, and apparently it's causing it's taking up so much energy that it's actually producing more harm than good for the environment.
Oh wow.
So
This is why I need people like Shad in my life.
I
He
only
can
know
explain
this
these things better than
because I only know this because I actually pay attention to the news sometimes, but that's just about it.
Fair.
So.
Nah,
All right, guys.
Sweden's
about
got
that?
everything that we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that
I'm Black Chef
Here,
56. I remember it, so you don't have to.
You came with the new exit.
I got that reference.
Oh no, that's
I
a
got
reference.
I got that.
Okay, so
reference.
Allie's gonna be my cap in this situation. She gets the reference. It's like, actually, you understood that reference.
NFT's like,
I understood that.
do I want? Is it something that should be in my video gaming stew? No, I don't give a fuck about it because I'm not. I just want it out of. I just want it out of gaming. Period.
It's not going to. That's the thing. It's not.
I will
If
say
it's a
this:
new
I'm
way to
glad that
play.
we're finally out of the microtransaction age. I'm glad that we're for the most part
We are
out of
not
it.
out of
Age?
that.
I'm talking about like being everywhere. It's still in a lot of areas, yes, but it's not in like a fucking mobile game anymore. It's
So there's a horse armor in Elder Scrolls 4.
I don't give a shit about Elder Scrolls, but that's just me.
I'm sorry, but I had to say that.
Anyways, that being said, Allie, do you have anything you would like to bring up for SnodaQuicks?
I mentioned this earlier. I've been playing a lot over the past days.
You cut out there. What have you been playing a lot of over the past few days? Halo
Resident
Infinite?
Evil 4.
Oh, Resident Evil 4. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember playing the original on console, and it didn't hit the same way. Having it in VR is a completely different experience, and I'm loving the hell out.
Oh yeah, I forgot it went to VR. I forgot they said it went to VR.
I did recently make the jump to VR.
Okay.
Congratulations! You can own something that expensive.
You console players, your PS5 is still way more expensive.
Look.
And
All
hard
right,
to
look.
get.
You know, it's not that the money problem is what my problem with VR is. My problem with VR, and you can blame anime for this. All right, you can. You can because it's actually one of the animes.
You're
one of the
nervous
animes
that you're nervous that a Sword Art Online is gonna happen.
Yeah,
Wait.
basically.
Okay.
In fact, they're gonna come up because
That's like saying
fucking
you don't trust technology because
Or-
you're afraid that Skynet is gonna take over.
No, not even.
And to be fair,
No, that is
It-
exactly the same argument.
it is.
No,
And
for,
to be
Yeah,
fair,
you're right.
it's about to happen though.
at-
With
at-
VR.
it
Because
Sword Art-
the one the richest dude, the one the rich
Hey.
guy's name, the
Hey.
one that the
Elon
Gallows.
Musk, I know. Give
Gallows.
Allie a chance to fucking talk.
a
Allie.
Sword Art Online experience cannot occur until one is absolutely able to shut everything of the real world out.
I'm like,
Right.
kind of like memes.
Okay, so
until you are able to completely hotwire a human mind
Mhm.
to shut out reality itself, a Sword Art Online experience cannot occur.
that is true. Now I will also say this. I brought up the whole Skynet argument. There is actually someone that looked at it and said, now granted, is there a chance that a Skynet situation can happen? Yes, but not the
Yeah.
way that it's portrayed in the movies. Not like, oh, AI suddenly becomes self-aware and then it's going to do it. No. If there is going to be a Skynet situation, it is going to be done by human hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's that plain and simple. It's not like, oh, humans made it and it becomes self-aware. No. Humans are going to make it. Humans are going to tell it to do something and either keep it super vague or, basically make it enough to where it's like, yeah, like, it's they're going to tell it, oh yeah, go ahead and kill everybody. And then they will do it. That's the closest we are ever going to get to a Skynet situation. Now, will that happen? Oh, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
There's terrorists and they're getting good at technology. Like,
I'll be
they're-
honest.
it's
I
gonna
honestly-
happen.
I honestly
Not
think
the
it'll
way
be
you
on.
think.
I honestly think it'll be on the part of law enforcement.
I would not be shocked if
It'll-
it is done on law enforcement. That would be probably a situation of like they keep it super vague, and therefore like
Yeah.
the AI just puts like they fill in their own blank space. I think
Precisely.
if it's
It-
going to be law enforcement, I think that's what's going to happen.
It is going to be a command along protect the people, and
You're going to get an
The
Ultron
A-
situation.
AI is going to look at Ultron.
Either keep us super locked away in like our own rooms, basically put us in quarantine forever, or
Wipe us out.
kill us out. Yeah, I agree.
I'll just be on the moon wherever once.
Well, the whole law enforcement thing, aren't they really doing it because the EMP with the EMP machine they have to knock out the internet?
That's not necessarily AI though. We're talking specifically about artificial intelligence.
Like, okay, yes, in some places they do have. In some places they do already have robot law enforcement, and it is ridiculed.
Where?
Boston, primarily. Mostly because of MIT.
Yeah, it is ridiculed.
Now, I will say this. The ones that are actually human-like, that are bipedal, not quadrupedal, those are terrifying. Have you seen those in action? Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I saw a video where it's like, those people, we have a lot of, here at Amazon, we have a lot of people say that our robots are creepy and most likely are going to kill everybody. And we say, absolutely most likely not. It's like, we are almost 100% certain. Or, no, they don't even say we're almost 100. They just say, we are almost certain that that is never going to happen. Like, our robots are...
Enough that I was here that Elon Musk was wanted to do that shit.
Oh, he already said he wants to... There's so much shit that he said he's wanted to do, and it's not gonna fucking happen. Because here's the thing. You know how many companies he owns, and they have yet to do jack shit? Like, it took them forever for Tesla to finally make fucking cars. Let alone make them affordable for the middle class, which is what his main goal was. He's like, I want to make electric cars affordable for the middle class. Bullshit. It's yet to happen.
Yeah.
Like, he has so many companies that are meant to do all this exponential shit, and aside from actually being able to go into space with SpaceX, and that's essentially revitalized NASA, other than that, like, he has done jack fucking shit.
He did manage to smoke weed on radio.
Well, on Joe Rogan's podcast, yes, but, like, you know, that's kind of my whole thing, is, like, anyways. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
We've been going on for a little too long, and I have work. All right, everybody. This has been SnodaCast episode 11. I have been your host, Black Chef 56, and I've, of course, been joined by Gallows, Allie, a.k.a. the Hungry Hufflepuff,
Howdy.
and, of course, the real reason why we asked the question, what is life? Joe.
Why are we here?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we here?
Yeah.
Just to suffer.
Yeah. It's like, okay, our meat wad of the situation, you know, where someone's going to say, look at him and tell me there's a God. The man on his own image. Joe. Actually, let's put it, this is to do a meat wad voice. I'm not even going to, it's actually super easy.
That's more Stitch.
Ah, that's fair enough. The man on his own image.
Right,
Anyways,
well,
this has been
good night.
SnodaCast episode 11.